Hey YouTube, I'm back with a video. I haven't made a video on this account in probably about 3 years or so. I've just been doing a lot of thinking lately, and something that really triggered me wanting to make this video is that a certain celebrity passed away by suicide. I don't want to state this person's name because I don't want to detract his legacy with my problems, but I will say it really had a bit of an impact on me. The reason being, honestly, I haven't been doing all that well mentally lately, and I've been fighting suicidal thoughts throughout my entire life. And seeing this person who is just so successful, has so many fans, and just has so much going for him to commit suicide, that really goes to show that you really don't know what's going on in this person's heart. I mean, someone may act like they have everything on the outside, but on the inside, they're really fighting a really difficult fight. Now, before I continue, I want to say that this video isn't scripted. I really don't have time right now to make scripts. So I'm probably going to sound a bit scatterbrained, but yeah, there's quite a lot that I've been wanting to get off my chest for a while now, and again, this person committing suicide, I think, was the final nail in the coffin for me. I'm sure you also noticed I have comments playing in the background of this video. The reason for that is this is a bit of an exposure exercise that my therapist I'm actually seeing right now suggested me to do. He didn't suggest me to make this video, but he suggested that I expose myself to all these negative comments as they've been haunting me. I'm to expose myself into the point where I just become numb to it and where they no longer have power over me. And I thought while making this video, I might as well expose these comments to the world just to show that I no longer care what people have to say about me. I mean, it still hurts, but I'm getting to the point where they're hurting less, if that makes sense. And I hope to eventually grow to the point where I'm able to just laugh at these comments and no longer give these comments any power over my life. Now, as I've stated before on this channel, I didn't have exactly the best childhood growing up. My father was physically and verbally abusive to my mother. My mother committed adultery with a coworker who is now considered my stepfather today. My parents divorced when I was 10 years old. I had a very hard time socializing and making friends with the other kids in my school because my Asperger's syndrome, which is a social disorder and form of autism. I've been diagnosed with severe depression in college, and I've even had to become hospitalized when I was in college. And there I met a lot of unique and different people who have far worse problems than me and this certain celebrity, I'd say. I've met people who have broken up their own family by their own hands due to being addicted to sex with random men. I've met people who were addicted to drugs and ruined their whole life because of it. I've met a person who was raped by a family member and was disowned by her own family because of this. So, I mean, I may be ranting about the terrible things that happened in my life, but I'm counting my blessings. I know that I am very blessed, that my childhood may not have been the best childhood ever, but I still had a good childhood, at least compared to these other poor souls that I've had to that I encountered when I was hospitalized. Now, again, when I say I didn't have the best childhood, I gotta say that my single beacon of light that kept me from, going to a dark place and doing terrible things both to myself and to others was a certain video game character that you all know, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic took me back to a time whenever my parents were fighting, I can always go to my neighbor's house and play Sonic the Hedgehog on his Sega Genesis and just get away from all the pain and terror in my life. And I know that this certain celebrity, maybe he just didn't have that beacon of light that Sonic provided me with, and in the end, he unfortunately decided to take his own life. Now, I'm going to say, I'm not the biggest channel on YouTube, I'm not the biggest YouTuber, I don't have the highest quality videos, I don't have some fancy editor that I can pay to make my videos all cool and shiny and whatnot, and I don't have many followers or a high view count for that matter, but if I'm able to reach out to anyone out there that's hurting, that's even thinking about ending their life, even considering suicide, a permanent solution to a temporary problem, if I'm able to reach out to them and help them and prevent them from committing that act with this video, then this video was worth uploading. Now I must warn the viewers that this video is going to be a bit of a rant because I want to explain. I feel that there are 2 times in my life where I truly hit rock bottom, where I myself actually really did want to commit suicide and I had to seek professional help. Again, one time was when I was in college. I was stressed out over a number of things due to family drama, due to my ex-best friend not wanting to talk to me anymore, due to stress from college and the workload in the classroom. Also due to failing out of my computer science program in college, and also due to the guilt that I had due to lying to my father for not wanting to go to my little brother's birthday trip to an amusement park. Reason being because my relationship with my father wasn't all that good at the time, so I had to lie in order to come up with an excuse to not go. And I remember that night was the final straw for me. I knew then and there that I needed serious mental help. And just due to a whole number of things. I mean, I loved my days in college, but yeah, I wasn't in the right mental place back then. And just one day, December 2013, I just had a mental breakdown, and I enrolled myself in a mental health facility, and I got the treatment that I needed. That's where, again, when I mentioned that I was hospitalized, where I met a lot of different people with far worse problems that I have. Yeah, that's when I met the girl who was raped by her family member, the woman who was addicted to sex and was ruining her marriage and her family, and the young girl who was addicted to drugs. Yeah, that incident really opened up my eyes and helped me to see that the world, it's not just about me. And I understand that people, when they commit suicide, their mind is not in the right state. They're just not in the right mental state. I mean, you see these people, when they commit suicide, some of them are just so violent and just so brutal, whether it be hanging themselves or choking themselves to death or drowning themselves in a pool or shooting themselves in the face. I mean, if someone really wanted to kill themselves, you'd think that they just take a bottle of sleeping pills and that'll be the end of it, right? It'll be quick and painless, right? But see, that's the thing. When you truly hit rock bottom, when you're in that dark and lonely place, your brain isn't functioning correctly. I mean, why would anyone, if they want to commit suicide, why would they do it in such a violent way? But again, that's the thing. Because they're not in the right they're not in the right peace of mind. And yeah, I can't bear to imagine what the celebrity that I'm talking about, what state of mind he must have been, where he felt that death was his only solution in order to escape the pain. I mean, you don't know until you've been there. It's a truly hopeless and terrible place that you can't really understand unless you've actually been there. This actually reminds me of a time when I was in college. Kevin Hines actually came to our campus and gave a presentation. If you don't know who Kevin Hines is, he's a man who was once suicidal and actually attempted suicide by jumping off of the Golden Gate Bridge, and he actually survived the fall. Now, I remember he told us when he was suicidal, when he was in that dark and horrible place, he was actually Googling painless ways in order to kill yourself, and unfortunately, he stumbled upon the website, and the website suggested that he should jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and it'll be quick and painless. And when he was in that suicidal state, he actually believed what the website said. See, and again, when you are truly suicidal, your brain is not functioning correctly. You're not in the right state of mind. And he said when he jumped off the bridge and when he hit the water, the pain, it felt like he was landing on a ton of bricks. And again, when you're suicidal, when you're in that dark place, you are not in that state of mind. And I can guarantee that 100% of people who committed suicide and actually failed at suicide, they're happy that they failed at suicide. Because again, you are not in the right state of mind when you're suicidal. I know people who haven't been there, they wonder, how can you come to the point where you want to kill yourself? I mean, it's not that people want to kill themselves. It's just that they desperately want to escape from the pain that they're having to suffer from. And they feel in that point of time that death is their only solution. It's their only salvation, their only way to get away from that pain. Now, my mental breakdown in college was the first time that I've hit rock bottom. My second time was, well, here on YouTube, when the whole Mario vs. Sonic drama was going on. That was my second time when I hit rock bottom, and I felt like I wanted to end it all. See, again, here's where the rant is gonna come. There are people out there who say that they want me to die just because I like Sonic more than Mario. And it just baffles me. I mean, again, I made this channel because I was inspired by all these YouTubers and live streamers on Twitch that are able to get a following and get a bunch of fans who enjoy the same thing that they like to talk and hang out every day, which is video games. And after I graduated from college, I learned how to live stream. I learned how to make YouTube videos. I took online classes. I saved up money. I got the equipment to make videos and to make live streams. And I created the Otaku Hedgehog persona out of fun and interest. And yeah, I gained a little bit of a following, and it was fun for a little while. And I wasn't just playing Sonic games, I was also playing a variety of other games as well. And in fact, it was this channel is the reason why I got into Halo. This channel was the first time that I played Halo to its completion, and I fell in love with the series. This channel was also my introduction to Zelda. I haven't had time to play the other games, but I absolutely loved playing Zelda Breath of the Wild on this channel, and I thought it was one of the greatest games that I've ever played. But unfortunately, a dark cloud came my way when the Mario vs. Sonic death battle came about. Prior to the 2018 Mario vs. Sonic death battle, I hardly got any views on this channel, and I was fine with that because the small amount of views that I got, I was able to form a small community, and I was able to hang out with a lot of awesome people in my live streams. but I unfortunately decided to make a live reaction to the Mario vs. Sonic death battle. I gave my simple opinion that I felt that Sonic should have won the death battle, and yeah, that's when all hell broke loose. Mind you, before I made the live reaction video, I was already in a bit of a bad mood because I was spoiled the results on Death Battle's preview video, where I wasn't even on my Sonic account. I was on one of my alt accounts. I was just wishing Sonic good luck, saying that I hope he wins this match, and some guy comes up to me and says, "Ooh, guess what, Sonic Tard? I saw the video already on Death Battle's official website, and guess who wins?" So, yeah, I was already in a pretty bad mood because of that, because I was called a Sonic Tard, just for hoping that Sonic would win. And yeah, when I made my live reaction, yeah, I put derpy eyes on Mario. I guess in retrospective, I didn't need to do that, but I was already in a bad mood. But let's be real here. Do I really deserve to be called illiterate, or a Sonic Tard, or a toxic Sonic fanboy, just because I had a different opinion with what the result was? Just because I disagreed with the video? These people need to grow up. And what makes it worse is that these people weren't just harassing me, but they're harassing any Sonic fan that they could find who disagreed with this battle. I mean, they're acting like they're never upset when Mario was buzzsawed in half by Sonic in 2011. When Sonic beat Mario in the 2011 death battle, I didn't go around harassing Mario fans who disagreed with the fight. But yet these Mario fans think that it's okay to treat Sonic fans like crap. It's ridiculous. And the thing is, I never, up to this point, ever received, like, views above 100 views on any of my videos. So I was so shell-shocked to see all these people watching the video, but yet they don't watch any of my other videos when I'm just playing a game and hanging out with a bunch of awesome, cool people who are following me. But no, because I have a controversial opinion about Mario vs. Sonic, everybody wants to come watch my video and just shit on me. And so that's how I learned the hard way that unless you've been on YouTube or the internet in general for years, the only way that you're going to grow on a platform like YouTube or Twitch quickly is to discuss controversy or to have sexual content in your videos. I mean, just look at Twitch. The people who dominate that platform are the booby streamers. And on YouTube, I mean, for example, the Game Grumps, I hate that YouTube channel, but the Game Grumps, they admit that their most popular videos are the Sonic videos. Why? Because it causes controversy. They detract Sonic, they make the Sonic brand look bad, then Sonic fans get upset, and then they go to their videos and leave mean comments because they're upset that they're detracting the Sonic brand name, and yeah, it just stirs up controversy. So, yeah, I know a lot of people ask, like, when am I gonna return, or why I won't come back. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe someday, maybe I'll come back, but as of right now, I just don't really see much of a point, because the only way to grow on YouTube and Twitch, again, unless you've been on the platform for years, the only way to really grow is to discuss controversy or involve sexual content in your videos. That's basically the only way you can grow quickly, because if you don't have controversy or sex in your videos, then you're really not going to get any viewers. It's sad, but true. In fact, why do you think Death Battle is so popular? Because it stirs up controversy. To this day, the Superman vs. Goku videos still get a regular amount of comments on a daily basis. Why? Because it's controversial. I mean, you have the Superman and Dragon Ball fans just going at it. It creates drama and controversy. That's why they get so many views. In any of their death battles, one fandom is going to be upset and is going to start fights, and the fans just keep coming back to the video, continue to argue, and because of this, Death Battle gets more and more views and they make more and more money. Death Battle as a whole is just a drama fest for the nerd community. And just look at my channel. The only video that I have above 10,000 views is the Mario vs. Sonic debunk video that I made. And even then, like if you compare it to all my hundreds of other videos, they barely have, like I say, over 50 or so views. Why is the Mario vs. Sonic debunk video so popular? Because again, it stirs controversy. Because Mario fans get offended that I dare to think Sonic would beat their Lord and Savior, Mario. And so they come to my channel and just throw a bunch of mean comments at me. And then the Sonic fans get upset and throw a bunch of mean comments at them. And it just turns into a big turf war. And my view count on that particular debunk video goes up and up and up. But yes, nobody wants to watch my videos of me playing a video game. Even when I'm playing a Mario video game, I uploaded a video of me playing Mario Odyssey and nobody watched it. But yet they all come to call me a Mario hater on my Mario vs. Sonic debunk. It's just, the state of YouTube is just absolutely ridiculous. Well, it's not YouTube, it's really the internet in general, but yeah, I know there was once a time when YouTube was not like this, where you can easily get views by uploading a video, like way back in 2006 when AMVs ruled the platform, but sadly YouTube's not like that anymore. I got so many comments of just people saying horrible things about me just because of my opinion. And mind you, this was when I was trying to apply for the JET program, which was to teach English abroad in Japan. So the day after I posted the video, I believe I posted at night, the next day I was busy getting my paperwork together for the JET program, and I noticed that my phone was blowing up with all these hate comments on my YouTube channel. And when I tried to respond to these guys, I told them I'm busy right now doing something to help my life. And I mean, they take this in their mind, they take this as me being weak. They say that I'm just making excuses and don't want to argue. And I just don't understand what can be going on in your head if you actually believe that writing these keyboard warrior essays makes you tough. I just don't understand these people. And what makes it even more humiliating is I know for sure that one of the people who was harassing me was just a 14-year-old. And I know this because he actually mentioned that he's 14 on his YouTube channel. And yet he's saying all these terrible things about me just because I like Sonic more than Mario. See, I know a lot of these Mario fans that are harassing me either fall into two categories. They're either teenagers or they're man children. And it's just ridiculous with what I had to put up with. Now, I know what people are gonna say. They're gonna tell me, oh, it's the internet. You put yourself on YouTube, you should be expecting this. Okay, well, here's the thing. When Sonic beat Mario in the 2011 Death Battle, I didn't go around YouTube harassing Mario fans. I mean, at the time, back in 2018, I saw all these Mario fans just going around harassing Sonic fans on all these debunking videos and whatnot. I mean, these people are acting like Mario's their lord and savior. It's pathetic. I didn't do this when Sonic buzzsawed Mario in half back in 2011. But yeah, people act like it's okay for these Mario fans to just bully these Sonic fans day in and day out. And mind you, the teenager that was harassing me, he eventually apologized. But, I mean, it's still not a good memory. I eventually deleted the live reaction that I made and just tried to continue making live streams of video games and whatnot. But the incident just started really eating away at me. Now, in addition to me having Asperger's syndrome, I also have OCD and I also suffer from intrusive thoughts. It actually runs in my family, so this incident, I couldn't really forget about it. Just every day I just kept thinking about these Mario fans harassing me just for thinking that Sonic could beat Mario in a fight. And over the course of a year, it just kept eating at me. So, in 2019, I got the idea to try to make my own debunk video. Because, mind you, when I made my live reaction, I just gave my thoughts at the time that I saw the video play in front of me, but I wasn't really, I guess, using quote-unquote research. I don't understand why people even use this in the death battle community. I mean, watching anime or cartoons or playing video games, that's not research. Research would be inventing a cure for cancer. Doing research would be developing something that will win you a Nobel Peace Prize. Doing research would allow you to gain a PhD in a grad school program. Research is what's going to make me a millionaire someday. And when that day comes, I will come back to this video and laugh at all these hate comments who said that I was brain dead or couldn't accomplish anything just because I like Sonic. I mean, just saying that I think my character would win because blah 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 blah, that's not research. But, I mean, whatever. So, yeah, I eventually decided to make my own debunk video. And things got a bit hairy from there. When I made my debunk video, it was the most ambitious project I ever did on YouTube. I really put my heart and soul into that video. I tried to tear the actual death battle video apart piece by piece. I tried to analyze everything that they did and said and try to show like where exactly they were wrong and where I believe that a certain point detracting Sonic is incorrect and a certain point highballing Mario was incorrect, and it was just my most ambitious project ever. I really went into great detail. I learned how to do creative effects on Adobe Premiere Pro thanks to YouTube videos. I developed a script and recorded it in Adobe Audition, and I learned how to use Photoshop and mix it with my audio and video in Adobe Premiere Pro. And like I said, it was just a really ambitious project. I put my heart and soul into it. I thought it was the best video that I ever made. And yeah, I felt really broken and like my heart was shattered when certain trolls came to harass me again. Looking back on my debunk now, obviously there are some things that have changed in my opinion as it's been like 3 years since I made it. One thing that immediately comes to mind is I don't think I got my point across very well when I was bringing up the comparison to SpongeBob. I know how they argue, Death Battle argues about Mario's durability in the scene where he survives an entire stadium being bombed. But if you notice, in that same scene, the stadium is still standing just fine. There's no damage done to it, and Mario doesn't even have any ash or dirt on his clothing anyway. And that's a fair comparison because in the Sonic vs. Wily West video, they argued that the black hole that Sonic was in functioned as a wormhole because Sonic still had snow on his shoes from Mobius. So, okay, if you're gonna analyze dirt or snow on Sonic, then it's fair to analyze that Mario has no ash or dirt on his clothing after the explosion in the stadium. And again, back to the SpongeBob comparison. They saying that Mario is more durable than a stadium. Well, that's just like saying SpongeBob and Squidward are more durable than a city, because there's an episode where SpongeBob accidentally throws a pie bomb in Squidward's face, and the entire city is destroyed in a big atomic explosion. And then Squidward and SpongeBob are just fine in the next episode. But yet, in another episode, SpongeBob is knocked to the ground by a simple punch. So, how is SpongeBob more durable than a city if a simple punch can knock him to the ground? See, it's these inconsistencies that just makes Death Battle just kind of, their logic is just so screwed sometimes. And they also argue that Mario's foot has more detonation power than a bomb that can destroy an entire castle because of a simple gag, but yet Mario struggles to pull a simple golden chain chop in Mario Sunshine, something that Sonic probably could have kicked like a soccer ball when he boosts. Again, these inconsistencies that Death Battle purposely ignores just makes this show look so stupid. And let's not forget that Sonic is crazy durable. In episode 26 of Sonic X, I remember, Sonic was thrown through a bunch of buildings by the Exterminator, and he also survived an entire city getting nuked. Now, a city is much bigger than a stadium, so that would put Sonic's durability above Mario's durability, according to Death Battle at least. And let's not forget the time when Sonic was able to destroy Eggman's fortress just with 2 Chaos Emeralds in Sonic X episode 13, which again would trump Mario's one-time gags of destroying castles. See, Sonic does not use stupid one-time gags, and thank goodness he doesn't. I can't stand gags in cartoons or anime or whatnot. That's why I love shonen anime so much more than American cartoons, because they take their audience more seriously, rather than the cartoon character saving the day by pulling a buzzsaw out of his pants or something. No, in shonen anime, a character has to use his smarts and wits in order to outsmart his opponent and come up with a solution, or he has to power up or whatnot. But yeah, in Mario, most of his feats are just due to stupid one-time gags, which, in my opinion, definitely makes Sonic the real winner here. And of course, for all the people who want to say that Sonic X isn't canon, well, what about Sonic Heroes? Sonic survived the egg fleets, multiple egg fleets, self-destructing right into his face. That again would make his durability easily able to rival Mario. And I do remember that Sonic was used as a cannonball to destroy Eggman's fortresses, and I believe in the Rail Canyon level. And of course, people are going to say, well, isn't that outside help? You had help from a cannon. Well, no, because cannons can't shoot objects at light speed. Meanwhile, Sonic was able to reach nearly 9 times light speed in Sonic Unleashed. If you calculate his maximum SPD and divide it by the light speed. I believe light speed was calculated at like 490 SPD or something, and Sonic's boosting was calculated at the highest at like over 8,000 SPD or something, so yeah, that would make Sonic near 9 times light speed on his own. And people may also bring up, well, Sonic had Tails and Knuckles to help him destroy the fortresses. Well, no, because Sonic is leading the group. Tails and Knuckles are behind him. Sonic impacts the fortress before Tails and Knuckles do, so this is still a fair feat to give to Sonic. Even if you don't want to count Sonic X, this would still allow Sonic in terms of raw power to compare to Mario's castle-busting feats. And yes, I know that there are going to be some Mario fanboys who are going to say, oh, well, Death Battle didn't even use Mario's strongest feat. Mario defeated Dreamy Bowser and Dimentio. That makes him super duper ultra multiversally strong and can beat anybody. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Alright, let me ask you something. If I have a gun and I shoot a black belt martial arts champion, does that make me a black belt martial arts champion? If I defeat a PhD student in a game of Jeopardy, does that make me a PhD student? If I defeat an NBA superstar in the game of Horse, does that make me an NBA superstar? If I get my friends to go beat up some sumo wrestler, does that make me a sumo wrestler? No. Your logic, it doesn't make sense. Just because Mario defeats a superdimensional being, that doesn't make him superdimensional. If Mario was superdimensional, then he would have destroyed the black hole at the end of Super Mario Galaxy, so that all the, I can't remember the name of the star critters, but you know what I mean. All those star critters wouldn't die. And yeah, I know some Mario fanboy is going to call me an idiot just because I don't know the name of some Mario creature, but I don't care. And on top of that, Mario had outside help in his fight against Dreamy Bowser and Dimentio, so it's not even fair to scale him to those characters anyway. And besides, I know that Sonic has been able to defeat the out-of-control Solaris on his own. Yeah, he had Super Shadow and Super Silver too, but they're fighting their own respective versions of Solaris. Super Sonic had to fight present-day Solaris on his own. And I know that Death Battle tried to make a statement that Mario's can go head-to-head with Bowser, who is, quote, strong enough to survive a black hole or survive a dip in the sun. Well, we can throw out the black hole feat. Due to Sonic vs. Wally West, we can just assume that the black hole Bowser went into just acted as a wormhole and brought Bowser back home. As for the sun, Bowser didn't fall into the sun, he fell into a sun. There's millions of suns throughout the universe that vary in different shapes and sizes. Our sun, the sun in our solar system, for example, can fit in over 1 million Earths. The Mario universe does not replicate our universe, though. And the sun in the Super Mario Galaxy game that Bowser fell into looks nowhere near the size of 1 million Earths. It's barely the size of a medium-sized building, so Bowser falling into that sun isn't even a significant feat. And besides, Bowser's element is fire. He should be able to survive a dip in the sun. If he can't, then that's a serious problem. And besides, I know some cartoon characters like Courage the Cowardly Dog, unlike Bowser, can stand on top of the sun no problem. So, does that make Courage stronger than any Mario character in the Mario universe? Someone please answer me that. And also, I did want to mention, I know I'm ranting at this point, but I just want to get this off my chest. I remember the Death Battle. Death Battle downplayed Sonic's speed, saying that he couldn't outrun the black hole at the end of Colors, but yet they completely ignore the fact that multiple Sonic characters were able to outrun multiple black holes in Sonic 06. And they also ignore the fact that Sonic was able to traverse dimensions and Sonic Forces just by running. He was able to escape from null space by doing a double boost with the Avatar character. And yeah, people are going to call me out saying, oh, that's outside help, so that doesn't count. But I remember in the Goku vs. Superman 2 battle, they gave Superman the holding infinity feat, even though Wonder Woman was helping her. So again, Death Battle's contradicting them. Death Battle would be contradicting themselves if they were to call the Sonic Forces feat an outlier, because they gave Superman that feat even though he had outside help. So it's fair to give Sonic this feat even though he technically had help. And I say technically because honestly, the Avatar character being with Sonic would have probably slowed Sonic down. When you're running together with someone, that slows you down. That doesn't make you faster. So Sonic could probably go even faster if he was on his own. But anyway, yeah, that really annoyed me when Death Battle downplayed Sonic's speed. And it can be argued that Sonic simply couldn't outrun the black hole at the end of Colors, not because he wasn't fast enough, but because the ground was falling apart. Honestly, do an Olympic run while jumping over hurdles. Yeah, it's much harder than doing a vanilla run, just running in a straight Olympic circle. When you throw in hurdles that you have to jump over, that makes you a lot slower. So that's really not a fair analysis on Death Battle's part. In order for Sonic to really test himself and to see what his true speed is, he'd have to run in a neutral environment where the ground is stable. Such as like in null space, where he was able to run so fast that he was able to traverse an entire dimension. Well, multiple dimensions, by that matter. He was able to escape from null space and come back to Earth. So how do you calculate that kind of speed? Yeah, someone please tell me how. And of course they ignore how in Mario Odyssey that Mario couldn't react to a simple hat that Bowser threw. So how the hell is Mario going to react to Sonic if he can't react to a simple hat? Yeah. I call BS here. But anyway, it doesn't matter what I say. I can argue until I'm blue in the face. People, no matter how brilliant my argument is, people are just going to call me a toxic Sonic fanboy because of the result that Death Battle came up with. But I mean, and again, they did this after Sonic already beat Mario. Death Battle probably did this just because Mario lost last time. That's what baffles me. These Mario fanboys can't realize that Sonic won the first time. Just because they make Mario win the second time, that doesn't mean that Sonic can never beat Mario. They just want to keep both fandoms happy. And again, in the Death Battle, there's a lot of other things I can argue about too, such as Sonic doesn't boost in the Death Battle. Sonic can easily compare to Mario in terms of strength when he boosts, but Death Battle didn't let Sonic boost. I don't understand why. That's been a staple ability since Sonic Unleashed. Sonic doesn't use Chaos Control. Death Battle argues that Sonic's never used Chaos Control to stop time, but Sonic has used Chaos Control to teleport. I don't see how Mario would be able to counter Sonic's teleportation ability. And Sonic has stopped time in Sonic and the Secret Rings thanks to the time break ability. And yes, this doesn't stem from Shara, because in the final boss in Sonic and the Secret Rings, when Shara is dead, Dark Spine Sonic is able to time break as much as he wants, and the ability returns in Sonic Generations. And people will bring up that Mario can counter Sonic's time break ability with his stopwatch, but first of all, the stopwatch appeared in the non-canon Mario game, Super Mario Bros. 2, which not only was it not a real Mario game, as it was just a different game, they just copy and pasted Mario characters onto it for the American release of Super Mario Bros. 2, but also that ability doesn't even affect bosses, so Sonic would be immune to it. And we can use this logic because I remember seeing I don't remember what the videos are called, Death Battle Aftermaths or something, but anyway, the Death Battle team mentioned that they didn't use Sonic's Hyper Flash in the fight because, quote, the Hyper Flash doesn't affect bosses. Okay, so if that's the case, then Mario's stopwatch wouldn't be able to affect Sonic then. So if Sonic time breaks, then Mario is screwed. He has no way to defend himself. Sonic is free to steal his power-ups. Sonic is free to snap his neck. Sonic is free to Chaos Control him into a pool of lava. I mean, there's no end. Mario is screwed if Sonic time breaks, but Death Battle doesn't look into this. They don't consider this. They'll probably just consider it an outlier, right? Anything that proves them wrong is considered to be an outlier. And I know a lot of people also bring in the white Tanuki suit, but they don't seem to remember that the white Tanuki suit doesn't protect Mario against lava. And then people are going to argue, oh, well, that's a game mechanic. And then I'll say, okay, then please show me a cutscene where Mario in the white Tanuki suit or Starman, or as Metal Mario, or with any power-up is able to survive in lava. Go ahead, I'll wait. In fact, honestly, a lot of Mario's power-ups I think are really just game mechanics. I don't recall. I'll admit it right now, I'm not a Mario expert, but even I know that there's not really many cutscenes where Mario uses his power-ups. For the most part, they're all just game mechanics. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. And it doesn't matter how good my argument is, no matter what point I bring up, people are just going to dismiss me as a brain-dead Sonic fanboy anyway. I mean, I can argue until I'm blue in the face, but it's not going to change people's opinions over the internet. I mean, I kind of knew this in the back of my mind when I made my debunking video, but I really made that debunk video as a means to defend myself, because so many of these Mario fans just dismiss me as being stupid or being an idiot or not knowing what I'm talking about, at least when I made my live reaction. And again, I was not prepared for all of that harassment, for all these viewers to see my opinion, because like I said, my videos before then never reached like the hundreds of views that I got with my live reaction. So I was completely taken by surprise. I didn't expect all these viewers to come see my live reaction. I just thought it would be a simple video that I'd share with my community, just like when I made the live reactions to the Nintendo Directs or for the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers. I didn't expect all these viewers to come to argue with me for thinking that Sonic could beat Mario in the fight. But I just don't understand why it bothers them so much. So what? I think Sonic can beat Mario in the fight. Why does that bother you? Don't you have anything better to do with your life than to argue with someone online? When I first uploaded my debunk video, I had to admit at first I was a little discouraged as I wasn't getting many views, unlike my live reaction. Well, in retrospective, the reason for that is because I made my live reaction the day the death battle came out. My debunk I made like a year after it came out, so of course the topic Mario vs. Sonic wasn't trending anymore. So I unfortunately had the bad idea of advertising my debunk video on the actual death battle comment section, and yeah, all hell broke loose again. I was subjected to so much trolling, but the biggest troll was a user named Dr. Neocortex. Some of the OGs from my community may also know him going off by other usernames such as original username.jpg, 2 times back-to-back champion, and local fat beat. And I remember also his channel description. I think it was proving fanboys wrong by showing them logic and facts since 1996 or something. I mean, how much of a virgin do you have to be to describe your channel as that? I mean, in his mind, he actually thinks that he's a champion by arguing with teenagers online and just random strangers and highballing his Mario characters. It's really pathetic. And this is really unfortunate because Dr. Neocortex is actually a character from one of my favorite video game franchise is Crash Bandicoot. So whenever I play Crash Bandicoot, I have to think of this asshole. But anyway. Yeah, this Cortex guy was all over the Mario vs. Sonic comments section, just trashing every Sonic fan that he could find. And he was mostly just using this stupid Dreamy Bowser headcanon, claiming that Mario is multiversal and can beat anybody. But yet, Mario seems to struggle to drag a simple golden chain chomp. Yeah, that's fanboyism. But anyway, yeah, this guy, he was such a jerk to me. And to this day, I still struggle with getting him out of my head. I mean, every day I wake up, this is no joke, this is no exaggeration, I'm still lost in that argument with him. I'm still thinking about him just saying all these horrible things about me and about the Sonic community, and it's just tearing me down, and it's just really tearing my life apart too. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, this happened 3 years ago, you're still obsessing over that? You're pathetic, dumb Sonic fanboy. Well, like I said, intrusive thoughts is a mental illness that runs in my family. Throughout my entire life, I've been obsessing with little incidents that have happened in my life. I've been obsessing over my stepfather calling me chauvinistic. I've been obsessing over high school teachers insinuating that I'm stupid. I've been obsessing over just everything, every little bad memory that I've had in my life, I tend to obsess over. And this online incident with Cortex was one that I ended up obsessing over for the next few years. It came to the point where I had to seek out professional help, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, this Cortex guy, I don't know what the deal was with him, but he took me saying that I didn't want to deal with any Mario trolls as an insult, because mind you, I was dealing with Mario trolls in my live reaction debunk. So when I posted my video, I said, hey, if there's anyone that disagrees with this, feel free to check out my video. Sonic fans only, please. I don't want to deal with any Mario trolls. Now, in retrospective, I could have worded that better. That probably wasn't the smartest thing to say. But, I mean, for this Cortex guy to just stalk and harass me for, whenever I posted something in the comments section, he would just counter it with some insult. Like, say, I would debunk your video, but I'm not gonna waste my time with the trash. Or, haha, that's cute. Mario with Cream Sonic. He's multiversal. He defeated Dreamy Bowser. Or, haha, nice joke. Sonic sucks. And what hurts more is that a lot of the Mario fans actually joined him. They thought it was cute and funny for him to harass all the Sonic fans in the comments section. And whenever I accused him of trolling, he and the other Mario fans would say, oh, why is he a troll? Because he's proving you wrong? LOL. I just don't get it. Maybe he was just really butthurt that Sonic beat Mario back in 2011. And now he's just taking out his revenge on any innocent Sonic fan that he could find. And yeah, in addition to this Cortex creep, his little friend also joined in harassing me. His name was Grant Strader. And yeah, he told me that my debunk video sucked, yet he has no videos on his channel. See, a lot of these people that say that my YouTube channel sucks, they probably never even uploaded anything in their entire life on YouTube. They probably can't even afford the video equipment to make videos on YouTube. And I later found out that this Grant Strader guy was only 15. So yeah, again, I was arguing with a teenager because, again, most of these Mario fanboys fall into two groups. They're either teenagers or they're man-children. And unfortunately, when Cortex and Grant Strader said that my YouTube video was garbage, I just lost it. I took the bait. I argued with them. I argued with the trolls. I gave them the power to hurt my feelings. And yeah, it just wasn't a pretty picture. Now, Cortex saying that my debunked video was garbage, a video that I put my heart and soul into, well, that's one thing. But the comment that Cortex made that really hits me hard was when he called me brain dead and said I have a severe mental problem. Now, mind you, I'm partly to blame for that comment. Like I said, when I took the bait, when I was arguing with him, I got sick and tired of him harassing every Sonic fan that I could see. I decided to harass him in the Knuckles vs. Wario, what's it called, 1 Minute Melee video. And yeah, I can't remember what I said. I think I said I was teasing him because he was whining that Wario lost, and then I was laughing at him because Knuckles won, and I brought up my YouTube channel. I think I was taunting him because he has no videos on his YouTube channel, and yet he says that my YouTube channel is crap. But then he brings up me hardly getting any views, and that I'm brain dead, must be brain dead if I think that matters in online debate. I just don't understand these people. They honestly feel that debating online and, quote, winning arguments actually makes them tough and smart or something. And then to make matters worse, this Wario fanboy comes to harass me as well. He decides to defend Cortex and calls me a Sonic... He didn't call me a Sonic fanboy, he called me a Sonic something else. I don't remember, I don't have the comment in front of me while recording this. But yeah, he insulted the Sonic community in some shape or form, and at least the guy apologized after I explained to him that I was only trolling Cortex because he's a troll, because he was trolling the entire Sonic community at the Mario vs. Sonic Death Battle comment section, and he apologized afterwards. It still doesn't make me happy, though. I still honestly have nightmares about this argument. It just feels like, sometimes as a Sonic fan, it just feels like the whole world is against you. And with all this blind hate and rage towards me, it's even made me succumb to the darkness, if you will. I myself created a troll account and started trolling Nintendo fans. Now, I'm not proud of that. I'm trying my best to stop. I still slip in sometimes whenever I see a comment from a Nintendo fan that annoys me. But yeah, I'm not perfect. Even I've succumbed to trolling and to harassing Nintendo fans because of all the BS that I've been put through as a Sonic fan, and I just don't understand these Nintendo fans. I mean, they think that's okay to harass Sonic fans, but yet, when I harass them, then they play the victim card, and it's just downright not fair. It's ridiculous, and it's just not right. I mean, we're Sonic fans. We have every right to like what we want to like. If you harass us, then of course we're going to retaliate back. If you don't start nothing, then there won't be anything. Yeah, again, these people, they act like Mario is their Lord and Savior. And before anyone says, "Whoa, well, you're a Sonic fanboy," I bet you probably said the same thing when Sonic wins. Okay. So, Mario has lost once on Death Battle, and I know Sonic has lost twice. I remember Sonic lost to Wally West. That I can actually accept. I didn't go ranting and fighting with DC fans when Sonic lost to Wally West. I mean, I like Sonic more than Wally West. I mean, that's for sure. I like Sonic better than any superhero. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be called an SJW for this, but I don't care. Sonic isn't whitewashed like all these superheroes are. 90% of all superheroes are white men in colored undies. And the whole having a secret identity that they have to hide from society, yeah, that just never really... I never really cared too much for superheroes. And the whole secret identity thing, that just never really made sense to me. I mean, in this day and age where we have all this technology, where you can find someone at a crime scene just from their fingerprints or bloodstains on the carpet. I mean, wearing a mask isn't going to prevent people from finding your identity. Come on. Yeah, superheroes just never really connected with me. I mean, the only superhero I ever really liked was Spider-Man. That's just because he's not OP and he's relatable. He was a nerdy kid in high school, and yeah, I could easily relate to that. But anyway, yeah, Sonic's a lovable animal character. Wally West is just another white superhero in undies, colored undies, and Wally West isn't even an original superhero. He's just an extension of the Flash. So, yeah, I mean, I can accept Sonic losing to Wally West, but I still like Sonic better, and I didn't go out complaining when Sonic lost. And the same thing with Shadow losing to Vegeta. I can accept Shadow losing to Vegeta. I still think Shadow is a more lovable character than Vegeta. If superheroes are whitewashed, then I guess anime characters are Asian washed, I guess. Again, yeah, people feel free to call me a social justice warrior. I don't care. I'm just giving my opinion. I'll always love the Sonic cast more than any superhero or any shonen anime character. But yeah, I can accept Sonic losing to Wally West and Shadow losing to Vegeta. But I mean, Shadow losing to Mewtwo and Sonic losing to Mario is just plain stupid. But Shadow and Mewtwo is an argument for another day. But anyway. And speaking of whitewashed characters, Mario also fits in this bandwagon. All the human characters in Mario, to my knowledge, are white. So, yeah, that's just another reason why I've always loved Sonic more than Mario. The whole Sonic cast is lovable, anthropomorphic animal characters. Anybody, no matter what race or background you come from, anybody can relate to the Sonic cast. Superheroes and Mario, on the other hand, not so much. And yeah, Mario isn't just white, he's also Italian, so yeah. I'm not white, nor am I Italian, so yeah, I have an easier time connecting with Sonic than to Mario. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the subject of race right now before I start a flame war in the comments. But anyway, yeah, these people, I mean, yeah, they act like Mario is their lord and savior, and it's not just Mario fans, it's Nintendo fans as a whole. Um, Prior to even coming onto YouTube, like way back in like the earlier days of the internet, when I was back in like middle school, I used to get bullied by Nintendo fans for being a Sonic fan. They would act like Nintendo does no wrong, but yet they would uh, just say that Sonic and Sega are just terrible. They'll just make all these nitpicks, but act like Nintendo has done no wrong. I mean, this blind fanboyism with the Nintendo community. I'll never forget this. I believe, 13 at the time. I believe this was back in 2006, probably like early 2006. And I was on the forum, and I was giving some criticism for the upcoming Nintendo Wii and saying how, due to the lack of horsepower, it's probably going to have an issue getting certain third-party games. And I remember the admin of the forum came up to me and said, "How dare you?" It's like accusing me like I'm attacking their lord and savior. And he says, "Nintendo is perfect. How dare you criticize Nintendo? Nintendo saved gaming. You don't even know the facts." And no, people, Nintendo did not save gaming. They just revived the console market in the West. You can't save something that was never in any danger. We still had arcade gamings and PC gaming. See, the reason why the console market was considered dead in the early 80s, I would say, around prior to the NES coming to the States, was because of the rise of PC gaming. Why would anyone pay $500 for a console when they could instead pay $500 for a PC that will not only play video games but also do much more? That, and because there are just too many video game consoles on the market at the time, it was oversaturated, and none of the consoles really had any amazing exclusives. So Nintendo came up with the idea of, why don't we make our own games, but also make a console and put our games on our console and make it so that you can only play our games on the consoles. And it was a big success. Super Mario Brothers on the NES launched in 1985 in the States, and the rest was history. And to say that they saved the console market isn't really that true, because if anything, they really turned into an illegal monopoly. Nintendo, they bullied game developers into only making games on their console, meaning that they couldn't go multi-plat. If they want to put their games on Nintendo's console, then they can only have their games on Nintendo's console. That's why Mega Man was console exclusive for so long on Nintendo. And they also bullied retailers, again saying, if you want to sell our Nintendo product, then you can only sell our Nintendo product. You cannot sell any other consoles. They made the gaming community into an illegal monopoly, and nobody wins in a monopoly. You never want a monopoly. I know Nintendo fans believe that any gaming company outside of Nintendo is a spawn of Satan. In their minds, they truly believe this. But no, you always want competition. You never want a monopoly. If anything, it's Sega that saved the console market from Nintendo, more specifically Sonic, because that's when Sega actually had horsepower to work with. That's when Nintendo actually, for the first time ever, had competition, and the monopoly was destroyed. When Sonic came onto the scene, Nintendo was in trouble. But again, the Nintendo fanboys that are mostly teenagers, they're too young to understand this. This is a time before PlayStation. This is a time before Pokemon. This is a time before YouTube. Yeah, I bet all the teenagers are wondering, what do you do without YouTube? See, back then, Sonic was on top of the world. He was truly number one. And all these stupid teenagers just talking crap about Sonic because they think it's cute and funny, they're too young to know that there was a time when Sonic was the best. It was more popular than the likes of Mickey Mouse, Superman, and yes, even more popular than Mario himself. I also remember another incident, again, back in my early days of being on the internet when I was 13. I was on the Sonic Zone forums. Yeah, the real OGs would know about that website. And there was a certain user who would often cause trouble. He went by the name of Watto D. Yeah, showcasing that he's a Kirby fanboy. And he would often pick fights with Sonic fans and specifically state why the Sonic franchise is bad. And mind you, this was back in probably 2004, 2005. And people would ask him, if you don't like Sonic, then why are you on this website? And Waddle Dee just said, I'm just here to argue. And I just don't get it. Do you really have nothing better to do with your life? That you need to put other people down for what they like? Just not even people you know, just strangers on the internet. It's downright ridiculous. And then these Nintendo fans get upset when I fight back. Then they play the victim card. It's sad, pathetic, and ridiculous. Honestly, I think Kirby fans are just as bad as Mario fans. I know Grant Strader was a Kirby fanboy. He kept ranting about how he feels that Kirby could beat Sonic in the Mario vs. Sonic Death Battle comment sections. And he was also ranting in the Bowser vs. Ganondorf comment sections that King DDD is better than both of those characters. And I know Kirby fans in the versus debate community, they'll wank Kirby to no end. They're worse than the Mario fans. And I know a lot of Kirby fans only like Kirby because he's considered the son of Sakurai. I know a lot of Nintendo fans even use the term Daddy Sakurai. I'm not even kidding about this. I've seen that term thrown around on the internet quite a lot. I hope they realize what the term daddy even means, especially in that context. I mean, every community to some extent has blind fanboyism, but Nintendo is just easily the worst. I know Sonic fans aren't afraid to criticize a Sonic game, but I mean, Nintendo fans, you say anything bad about Nintendo games and they'll want to come to your house with torches and pitchforks. Just look at that one critic who gave Zelda Breath of the Wild a 7 out of 10, and Zelda fanboys DDoSed his site and gave him death threats and whatnot, and it's just downright ridiculous. So anyway, I'm starting to get off topic now. So yeah, anyway, that comment that Dr. Cortex made about me having a mental problem really hit hard because mental illness actually does run in my family. So afterwards, I decided to make an aftermath video on my YouTube channel discussing about how I want to take a break from YouTube and I want to go back to school to study computer science. And I also mentioned that I decided to try to be the bigger person, and I ended up apologizing to Cortex. And looking back now, I really should not have done that. I mean, even after I apologized, Cortex still... Well, first of all, he ignored me. He didn't even reply back to me when I apologized to him. And second of all, I still see him and his friend Grant Strader harassing Sonic fans and just being a jerk online. Yeah, and I gotta be honest, this whole incident, seeing all these people hate me just for liking Sonic and saying that he could beat Mario, it actually made me cry, and I actually had to call my therapist. And, well, luckily I wasn't hospitalized, but yeah, I was reaching that dark place. I wasn't there yet, mind you. There's still more to go. But yeah, I was starting to get there. It almost kind of made me regret even starting a YouTube channel, to be honest. I mean, I'm just so sickened how if I make a few Let's Play videos or a few live streams, like what, I'll get like maybe 5 or 6 views, but the moment I give my opinion about a Mario vs. Sonic death battle, all hell breaks loose. I get thousands of views and a bunch of comments just calling me racial slurs, just telling me to go kill myself, just saying Sonic sucks, Sonic was never good, the Sonic fandom is autistic. It's just downright terrible. Again, nobody watched me when I was playing a video game. Even when I was playing a Nintendo video game, like Zelda or Smash Brothers. I love those games. But yet, I'm labeled a Nintendo hater because I say that I think Sonic could beat Mario. It's just downright ridiculous, and it really did nothing good for my depression. Because, like I said, when I was in college back in 2013, I was already diagnosed with severe depression and had to get hospitalized. And this whole YouTube incident certainly didn't make things any better. And I remember one guy who was harassing me. He had as his channel description, I believe it was, "People's misery is my pleasure." And I mean, how low of a person can you be to just troll around the internet and state that you like making people miserable? And I remember there was another person who was an anti-Sonic account. I can't remember what his username was, but I remember he had an anti-sign over a Sonic picture as his avatar. Again, do you people have nothing better to do with your lives? And what, do you think I'm gonna stop liking Sonic just because you make this anti-Sonic account? I don't get it. You people really need to get out of the house. Also, I did want to mention, I need to say to all the Nintendo fans out there, not everybody grew up with Nintendo, okay? Like, I did not grow up with Nintendo. Growing up, I did not have a Nintendo console. I grew up with the Sony PlayStation and PC. There, I was introduced to the likes of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon on the PlayStation and old school Sonic games on the PC. So, yeah, Mario is not one of my childhood heroes, like how 90% of the gaming community likes to view Mario as like this gaming god. But no, I did not grow up with Mario. And people are gonna say, "What? What, have you had no childhood?" Yes, I've had a childhood. It just didn't involve Mario. And, I mean, the thing is, I've seen these Nintendo fanboys target not only Sonic fans, but just any video game that's not made by Nintendo. They just instantly think is garbage. I mean, yeah, and like I said, it really sucks because Crash Bandicoot, before I got into Sonic, Crash Bandicoot was my gaming icon, my hero, my childhood hero. And now, every time I play Crash Bandicoot, I have to think about this Cortex asshole harassing Sonic fans on YouTube. And yeah, see, us kids in the 90s, I know this is going to be hard to believe for the teenagers and the people in their 20s listening to this right now. But there was a time when Nintendo did not have a monopoly over the kid market in the gaming industry. See, in the 90s, a lot of PlayStation games were geared towards kids. We had Crash Bandicoot, we had Spyro, we had Gex, we had Rayman, and we had a bunch of others too. And of course on Sega, back when Sega used to make consoles, we had Sonic. But I know nowadays, Nintendo basically has monopoly over the kiddie market. Yeah, I know I'm gonna trigger a bunch of Nintendo fans, but I don't care. Yeah, Nintendo has monopoly over the kid market. When you think about video games for kids today, you think Nintendo. Yeah, it wasn't always the case. Yeah, back in the 90s when cartoony platformers ruled the gaming industry, like, kid games were available for all platforms. But nowadays, it's mostly just... kid games are mostly just on Nintendo. I know the only cartoony platforming game, well, the only relevant cartoony platformer game that I could think of that's not on Nintendo is probably Ratchet and Clank. Any other cartoony platform you could find on Nintendo. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank is like the only one. Ratchet and Clank is the only one left that isn't on Nintendo. So, again, and that's why, and I know I'm going to trigger people, but I don't really care, especially after all the crap that I've been put through. That's why, when it comes to Nintendo fans, most of them are teenagers or man-children. Oh, I just remembered. In regards to me apologizing to Cortex, yeah, that was a bad idea, and I eventually came to realize that was a bad idea, so I actually went undercover. I made a new YouTube account, and I found him whining in the Bowser versus Ganondorf death battle video, where he was ranting that Bowser is multiversal thanks to his dreamy Bowser form and could have defeated Ganondorf. So, yeah, I started harassing him under my alt account, and I later discovered Grant Strader, again, defending him. Yeah, it seems like wherever Cortex goes, Grant Strader follows. And yeah, what does that tell you? Yeah, I have a feeling that Grant Strader may have just been Cortex's alt account, even though they claim to be best friends. Yeah, how could someone who picks fights online on a daily basis just to grab attention have friends in real life? But anyway, I remember there was a time under my alt account I did confront Grant Strader, and I actually showed him some of the mean comments that Cortex gave me. Yeah, and even Grant Strader himself said that Cortex was a pretty toxic person, so yeah, whether or not Grant Strader was his alt account or not, even this person who claims to be Cortex's best friend called him toxic, so yeah, there you go. That goes to show that Cortex was in the wrong, and that, yeah, I had no need to apologize to him after all, but me apologizing to Cortex just goes to show that I'm a decent human being, and that I don't like to make people feel like crap. Oh, and speaking of Grant Strader, something that he did that really annoyed me was compare my video to Excalibur 596's debunk of Mario vs. Sonic. Again, I never stated that I have the best YouTube channel ever. I don't have the money to hire some fancy video editor to make my videos look all fancy and professional. But a lot of people are comparing my video to these bigger YouTube channels, and honestly, that's kind of a compliment that you're comparing my video to something of that status. Because I don't even have like 1,000 subscribers, and yet you're comparing my video to someone that has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I mean, okay, you do you, but I never claimed to be this big professional YouTuber, nor did I ever plan to be. Again, I just made this channel for fun, and I just made this debunk in order to showcase my opinion on how the Mario vs. Sonic Death Battle should have done. But for you to get all upset and to compare my video to other people's videos that are more professional and who have like thousands of more subscribers than me, I mean, okay, you do you. You're just really just complimenting my work by doing that, because I never claimed to be a big YouTube expert. And the funny thing is, at the end of the day, despite all the crap that this Cortex guy has said about my debunking video, in the end, my debunking video still stands. Meanwhile, Cortex seems to have deleted all his comments. So, who's the real loser here, Cortex? Who's the real person in the wrong? If you're so confident in regards to all your wanking of Mario, why'd you delete all your comments? But anyway, after the whole Cortex and Grant Strader situation, I ended up making a video on YouTube saying that I'm taking a long break from YouTube and that I'm going back to school to fulfill my dream of becoming a video game developer. Yeah, unfortunately, that didn't go out so well. Yeah, computer programming is just a crazy beast that I can't figure out. So I ended up having to drop out from my computer science program, but I don't regret doing it. I was able to complete the calculus series all the way up to multivariable calculus, which was really interesting, and I met a lot of cool people in my calculus and computer science classes, but not being able to finish the computer science degree just kind of made me kind of hurt my self-esteem, I guess. And then the pandemic happened, and so I was stuck indoors for a while, and yeah, that really didn't do much good for my depression. But I remember right before the pandemic, though, my good buddies from college, from my original university back in 2013, not my friends from, not my new friends that I made in my computer science program, but my old friends that I made from my college business program, invited me to hang out with them at an anime convention. It was, I believe, the 2019 Fanime convention. And yeah, I was still down the dumps through the whole Cortex thing. But I felt that hanging out with my friends at an anime convention would do me good. And lo and behold, there was a panel at the Fanime convention dedicated to detracting the Sonic brand. See, here's the unfortunate truth about being a Sonic fan. You don't go looking for Sonic hate. Sonic hate finds you. I remember one day I was just browsing YouTube, looking up stock market videos, and the YouTuber was, I can't remember, he was mentioning something about how you gotta be fast, and then he makes a clip about a guy in a Sonic costume saying, gotta go fast, and then he crashes into the window. I mean, there's just so much blind hate out there, and I'm just so tired of it. But anyway, back to my experience at the Fanime convention. Well, Fanime is supposed to be about anime, not video games, so I don't even know why there was even a Sonic panel there. And I mean, the whole panel, the panelist was just basically shit posting on the Sonic and Sega brands and just sucking Nintendo off. I mean, I don't understand, why do people act like Nintendo is perfect? I mean, they're not. Nintendo basically shot themselves in the foot with the Nintendo 64 when they decided to have games made on cartridges instead of moving on to CD discs. That's why they lost big games like Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid to the PlayStation. And the GameCube was a flop. It only sold like 22 million, I think, and the newbie Xbox actually sold more. The Wii was a happy accident, but it had like half the lifespan of its competitors, the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And the Wii U was Nintendo's worst-selling console of all time. And yeah, we have the Switch, but again, the Switch doesn't get much third-party support when it comes to the big hardcore games. And I know I'm going to trigger a lot of people when I say that, but I don't care. There's at this point nothing that people can say that can hurt me anymore. But yeah, the panel itself is actually on YouTube, and I remember the panelist actually called out to me saying, "Oh, look at this guy with a Sonic hat here." I mean, it's an anime convention. You're supposed to show off your nerdiness. I love Sonic. I have every right to love Sonic. Yeah, and the panelists actually called out to me. It's an attempt to embarrass me. I really should not have attended that panel. I don't even know why I attended it. I guess a part of me just wanted to defend my hero. But Yeah, after that panel, my depression got worse, and I called the emergency suicide hotline because I was just reaching that dark and gloomy place, and I spoke to a over the phone nurse, and unfortunately, I said some things and some thoughts that I had that I probably should not have shared, and due to that, the nurse called the police on me and told the police to come up to my house to check if I'm alright. And yeah, that wasn't a fun experience. So, I mean, yeah, thanks to Nintendo fanboys, I got the police called on me. Because when you're truly depressed, when you're truly in that dark place, you're considered a danger not only to yourself, but to other people too. Luckily, nothing bad happened when the police came to my house. I just told them that I was having a bad day, and I shared some thoughts with the over-the-phone nurse that I probably should not have said, but I wasn't going to act on them or anything, so they let me go in peace. And yeah, after that, I decided that I needed to get some serious mental help in regards to letting the past go. Because again, I suffer from intrusive thoughts. Letting the past go has been something that's haunted me throughout my entire life. So I contacted my therapist that I speak to every month or so, and she recommended that I speak to an OCD specialist. So yeah, I've been speaking to an OCD specialist this past year in regards to all these mean comments online that have been haunting me and just causing these horrible suicidal thoughts. And yeah, in addition to this, I also went back to church. So, I mean, that's something good that came out of this, at least. Due to all this online harassment that I've got, it made me seek the Lord and just rekindle my relationship with God. And yeah, unfortunately, as of late, I haven't been able to speak to my OCD therapist because, unfortunately, bless his soul, his wife was in the hospital, and last I spoke to him, he said his wife probably isn't going to make it. So I know he's going through much bigger things than I can ever imagine. So I can't talk to him at the moment, and I really don't want to start out all over again with a new therapist. So yeah, I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm making this video. Why this certain celebrity's death encouraged me to want to make this video. And honestly, this is probably going to be my last video, because I'm getting anxiety just recording this. Again, I'm not very good at communication. I've struggled my entire life with communication. I mean, that's why even now I have a hard time finding a job, because I always have such a hard time getting past the interview portion of the job application process, because I'm just so terrible with communication. That's why I grew up with very little friends. I was always the outcast, the weird one. But I know Sonic the Hedgehog was always able to bring a smile to my face, and it feels like the whole world wants to condemn me for that. And yeah, I know that people are going to be making fun of me in the comments in regards to my awkward speaking and my poor communication skills, but I don't care at this point. Like I said, I've been called every word in the book by these Mario fans. There's nothing, and I mean nothing, that they can do or say to hurt me at this point. I've been called racial slurs. I've been told to kill myself. I've been told that all Sonic fans are toxic. I mean, I've heard it all. But I mean, no matter what they say, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. No matter what horrible thoughts I may have, I know suicide is never the answer. It's just a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Now, in regards to this certain celebrity who unfortunately killed himself recently, I gotta say, these celebrities really need to count their blessings and consider living as an average Joe for even just a single week. I mean, I have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and get ready to drive to work and be there by 5 a.m. just to push carts and pack items and run around a big warehouse in the freezing cold during the winter and in the blazing hot during the summer. I mean, these celebrities need to try to live a single week in our shoes. The average Joe, we're corporate slaves just trying to make a living. I absolutely hate my life, but I'm not going to self-delete. I'm going to keep pushing through it. And I've tried many things to try to get out of this 9 to 5 nightmare. I tried creating and selling art. That didn't work. I tried making this YouTube channel to earn some cash. That didn't work. I tried to study Japanese and become fluent in Japanese and apply for the JET program to teach English abroad. That didn't work. I tried going back to school to get a computer science degree so that I could create video games, make a living off of that. That didn't work. I tried 3D modeling during the pandemic. That didn't work. I mean, I've tried so many things and failed at so many things. And I know a lot of people are going to laugh at me for that, but at least I tried. Like Michael Jordan said, he's lost over 300 games. He's failed and failed again, and that's why he's succeeded. I mean, I'm going to bounce back. Eventually, I'm going to hit something big. And I'm going to laugh at all my haters when I do that. But yeah, these celebrities, there's always somebody worse off than you in this world. I'm counting my blessings. I know that there are millions of people in this world that are worse off than me. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I was born in a first world country, and I have all my limbs, and I'm pretty healthy. I mean, I still hate the job position that I'm in. Well, actually, my job, I actually ended up quitting it 2 weeks ago because I was tricked into getting scammed. I thought I found a new job, but it was actually a scam, and I was tricked into giving my social security number away and driver's license number away. So yeah, I feel like a big idiot for that, and I know people are going to make fun of me for that, but yeah, I don't care. I'm going to bounce back. And I'm struggling to find employment right now. Like I've said, I have communication issues, and it's always the damn interviews I can't get past. But I know I'm going to find a job eventually. And mind you, I left my old job in good standing. So if push comes to shove, I can always go back to my old job. But, and again, that's one of the reasons why I finally found time to make this video, because I'm unemployed right now. But I know things are going to get better for me. I'm not going to self-delete. I'm going to keep fighting. And these celebrities, they may think that they have it bad, but they have no idea how good they have it. They really need to step back and try to live as the average Joe for a week and see all the crap that we have to put up with. So yeah, in regards to that Sonic panel at Fanime, after that I just felt so disgusted by the nerd community. I mean, people think that Sonic fans are beneath them. They say that the Sonic fandom is the worst fandom of all time. All Sonic fans are autistic weirdos. They call us pedophiles. They call us freaks. They call us jerks. I mean, every name in the book. But, I mean, I gotta say, why don't you look in the mirror? You're not a millionaire. You don't have a bunch of girls chasing after you. You're not sleeping in some high-quality mansion worth millions of dollars. You don't have the face of Brad Pitt. You are no better than any Sonic fan. What, just because you like Mario? Or just because you like Nintendo? You think that makes you better than someone who likes Sonic? It's ridiculous. You need to get over yourself. And once again, I'm going to be going into a bit of a rant here, but I honestly, at this point, I don't understand how anybody can support Nintendo. Like, just look at Etika. He was a brand ambassador for Nintendo. His YouTube channel was basically dedicated to kissing Nintendo's ass, and he unfortunately ended up killing himself. And afterwards, the fans tried to make a tribute to his legacy by making the Edicons, which were basically Etika-themed Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch. And what did Nintendo do? They gave the creators a cease and desist and threatened to sue them. So, yeah, I don't understand. How can Nintendo, to this day, still have so many fans if they treat their fans like crap? And Nintendo's always going after fan games, which don't threaten their IPs at all. And yeah, I just really don't get it. And then we have people like Blackbuster Critic. Remember when he was a thing? Yeah, he's pretty irrelevant now, but when he was making videos, he was just saying horrible things about the Sonic community, using homophobic slurs, and saying that liking Sonic means they have a mental disorder, and just a bunch of other horrible things. And I remember there's a story of this one little boy who made a petition to allow his city to allow him to have a hedgehog as a pet or something, and I thought that was really cool. But then Blackbuster Critic just attacks the poor kid and just calls him a bunch of horrible things. And what gets me is that this guy actually has followers that support him. I mean, they think that it's cool and funny to hate on Sonic and hate on Sonic fans. Meanwhile, you have this other guy, RXL209, who basically does the same thing for the Nintendo community, who attacks Nintendo fans and says a bunch of horrible things. But oh no, when you attack Nintendo, you're a bad person. But if you attack Sonic, it's fine, it's cool, because Sonic fans are weird, right? They're completely abnormal, completely different from us Nintendo fans, right? We Nintendo fans are cool, but Sonic fans, no, they're weirdos. I mean, being a 40-something-year-old playing a Mario game, you're cool, but if you're playing a Sonic game, you're weird. It's just downright ridiculous. And like I said, I've been bullied my entire life for liking Sonic by Nintendo fans. I mean, I remember back on my old channel, way back in 2006, 2007, I was joining the Sonic for Brawl bandwagon and making YouTube videos encouraging, trying to get attention to encourage Nintendo to put Sonic in Brawl. And even back then, I got hate comments saying, Sonic is never gonna be in Smash Brothers because he sucks, you stupid Sonic fanboy. Well, all those haters were wrong in the end, because Sonic made it in Smash and he's still in the latest Smash Brothers to this day. But yeah, even now today, I still get hate for hoping that we get other Sonic characters like Shadow in Smash Brothers, because these people, they just think that it's cool and funny to hate on Sonic and Sonic fans. It's so stupid. And another thing that really grinds my gears is when people always bring up Chris Chan. Not only because people call Chris Chan a Sonic fan, but also because Chris Chan is on the autism spectrum. People like to embrace the stereotype that Sonic fans are autistic, but yet they seem to ignore the fact that Elon Musk is on the autism spectrum, and Elon Musk is more successful than any of you losers will ever be. But yeah, they seem to ignore that. So, honestly, most of you people hating on Sonic and hating Sonic fans have probably never even met one in real life, because you don't get out of your mother's basement. You probably just see one or two weird people online and assume, oh, yep, all Sonic fans are like this, all Sonic fans are like Chris Chan, all Sonic fans are like a Knothole resident, yep, all Sonic fans are weirdos. But yeah, you've never even met a Sonic fan in real life. I mean, I've been to many Sonic conventions. Sonic fans are really cool and creative people. I mean, you have people in the Sonic community creating fan games. You have people in the Sonic community creating animations like The Wrath of Nazo. You have people in the Sonic community creating awesome cosplays. You have people in the Sonic community working to revive the classic Sonic Sat-AM cartoon. They're trying to make a season 3 that was canceled due to having the same time slot as the Power Rangers back in 1993. You have Sonic fans creating awesome fan art, and I mean real fan art. I know people like to give Sonic fans this stereotype that they create creepy, furry, pornographic artwork. This just baffles me. I mean, you're ranting about there being Sonic porn out there. You don't think that there's Mario porn out there? Are you fucking kidding me? You don't think that I can search on Google right now to find Mario porn? Not just Mario porn, but porn of any Nintendo IP. In fact, Pokemon is the king of pornographic fan art. Are you fucking kidding me? But no, they say, oh yeah, Sonic fans, yeah, their fan art is toxic. I mean, it's so full of pornographic material. What is wrong with them? I mean, you have, in the Pokemon community, you have bestiality porn. You have lolicon porn. You have rape. You have rape involving animals. I mean, it's just downright ridiculous. The list goes on. But yet you want to say, oh, no, Sonic fans are definitely the worst when it comes to fan art. I mean, their fan art is creepy. And there's definitely no other fandom like it. No, get over yourselves, people. And I also remember a time when I was trying to expand the Otaku Hedgehog brand. I made an Instagram account. I got a random message from somebody just telling me the Sonic community is terrible. That's it. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know about the live streams I make. He just wants to tell me that the Sonic community is terrible. I mean, I don't get it. Do you guys get a mental high or something putting down Sonic fans as a means to hide the shit going on in your life? Because you must have shit going on in your life if you feel that you need to put down random people on the internet for what they like in order to make yourselves feel better. And the funny thing is, I see all the time people saying, the Sonic brand sucks, Sonic needs to die, Sonic was never good. Okay. If you guys want Sonic to die, how does a fictional character die? Go ahead, tell me. A fictional character dies when the world forgets about them, when the world stops thinking about them. How is the world going to stop thinking about Sonic if you keep ranting about how the franchise quote-unquote sucks? The franchise was quote-unquote never good. Don't you morons realize that your hate for the brand is keeping the brand alive? If you want the Sonic franchise to die, then stop talking about him. Because as long as you keep ranting about him, people are going to remember the character. And the sad thing is, hypothetically, if Sonic did die, if the world just forgot about the Sonic brand and all the Sonic fans disappeared from the face of the earth, which, newsflash, isn't going to happen, you Nintendo fans are next. I mean, what? We're talking about fandom that DDoSes critics and sends some death threats just for giving their games a 7 out of 10. A fandom that buys PlayStation 4s only to smash them in protest of a game copying or taking inspiration of a Zelda game. And I'm referring to Genshin Impact. That's the game I was thinking of. I mean, you have Nintendo fans smashing PlayStation 4s in protest of Genshin Impact. Yeah, you guys don't think that this fandom is toxic? You guys don't think that you're gonna be the laughingstock of the gaming industry if Sonic all of a sudden disappeared? The way that you Nintendo fans treat Sonic fans is the same exact way that Sony and Microsoft fans treat Nintendo fans. I don't get it. Are you just doing it because you're upset at getting bullied? And speaking of this, speaking of taking your anger out due to being bullied, you know that 14-year-old that was harassing me, saying that Mario was all this, Mario was all that? I went undercover and I learned that he was harassing me and other Sonic fans just to blow off steam because he was getting bullied at his rat hole high school. What the fuck do I have to do with that? These are the kind of people that run the Nintendo community. Again, Nintendo fans, they're either teenagers or man-children. Most Nintendo fans either fall into one of those two groups, and yet they try to blow off steam by harassing Sonic fans. You people need to grow the fuck up. I mean, I'm a Sonic fan, and I know that I've accomplished a lot in my life. I've graduated from college. I've won scholarships to get a free ride through college. I've won scholarships to get a free ride to study abroad in Japan. Yeah, I know a bunch of you Mario fans like to worship Nintendo, which is a Japanese company, but I bet hardly any of you have ever even been to Japan. So that's more than what you can say. And yeah, it just baffles me. I remember, I haven't been there in a while, but I know, last I checked, the comment section in the Mario vs. Sonic 2018 Death Battle it was just a Sonic hates circle jerk. I mean, I've been seeing Mario fans telling Sonic fans to go kill themselves. I've been seeing Mario fans say that Sonic was never good. Um, I've been hearing Mario fans say that Sonic as a brand should just die. It's just so stupid. I love it when people say that Sonic was never good, yet they ignore the fact that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 outsold Mario when it was launched. See, a lot of Mario fans, again, a lot of them are teenagers. They're too young to realize that there was a time when the Sonic brand was number one. Sonic was more popular than characters like Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, Superman, and yes, he was even more popular than Mario at one point. So if you say Sonic was never good, so does that mean Mario is never good? There was a time when Sonic beat Mario, so if Sonic was never good, I guess Mario was never good either, right? And if Mario was never good, I guess Nintendo was never good, right? If Nintendo was never good, I guess the entire video game industry was never good, right? Such blind ignorance and hatred. I mean, and the worst part about this is, all this Sonic hate has really gotten to me and just really made me feel ill will towards not only the nerd community, but just nerd stuff in general. I mean, I still like nerd stuff, but I'm just feeling that I'm really losing my love for nerd stuff, if that makes sense. Like, for example, I know Sonic Frontiers came out earlier this month, and I haven't even had the will to play it yet, because I know no matter how hard Sonic Team worked on the game, and no matter how good it is, I know that critics are going to nitpick and give Sonic Frontiers trash just because it's a Sonic game. And trashing on Sonic games is like considered the cool thing to do, because Sonic was, quote, never good, even though he defeated Mario at one point, but whatever. And yet, it also baffles me at the same time. The critics give the recent Pokemon game, I believe it's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, a pass. But I mean, I've seen videos of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That game looks glitchier than Sonic 06. I know Sonic 06 was not this broken, where it looks like that character models are having seizures, and where the game randomly crashes. But yet, critics give it a pass. I know IGN gave the game a 6 out of 10. I mean, that's still a passable score. I mean, they're not saying the game is great, but they're still saying it's a passable game. Meanwhile, if that was a Sonic game that was that glitchy, IGN would probably give it a 3 or below. Like, they even gave Sonic Unleashed, which is a very good game, 3.5, I think. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You have this game that's glitchy as I don't know what, is unfinished, is unpolished. Character models are spasming and having seizures. The game is crashing. But because it's considered a Nintendo IP, it gets a pass. But yeah, you have a game like Sonic Unleashed, which is a very good game, but people don't like the Werehog gimmick, so people say that's garbage. See, I hate the elitism of, this isn't really a nerd community problem, it's more of a gamer problem. In the gaming community, a game either has to be amazing or it's garbage. There's no in between. And it really just makes me sad. I mean, I grew up as a gamer. I mean, over time, when I entered high school and entered college, I kind of lost my didn't really have much time to play games anymore, but I mean, I still loved the concept of video games, just being transported to this fictional world. It's the most interactive source of entertainment, the most interactive kind of entertainment, because unlike in a movie, in a video game, you actually become the character. I mean, video games are amazing, but, I mean, thanks to the gaming community, I'm starting to lose my love for gaming. And because of the gaming community, because of all the harassment I got from Mario fans, it came to the point where I had to change my username on YouTube from Otaku Hedgehog to whatever I have now. At the time recording, I think it's Faithful Gamer. This is in tribute to me rekindling my relationship with God and because I love gaming, but I may change the name later in the future to anyone in the future who's watching this. But anyway, yeah, I had to change my username because so many people are calling me a toxic Sonic fanboy, despite the fact that I clearly played other video games on this channel, such as Halo and Zelda and Smash Brothers, Five Nights at Freddy's, and whatnot. But no, because I have a Sonic avatar and Hedgehog in my name, they call me a toxic Sonic fanboy. They call me a brain-dead Sonic fanboy, despite the fact that I have a college degree. But in the nerd community, if you like Sonic, then you're considered a black sheep. The nerds, you're a nerd among nerds. It's just so ridiculous. And Otaku Hedgehog, my avatar was supposed to represent me as a hedgehog, because I've shared this with my therapist too. This world is just terrible. I mean, turn on the news, you see we have mass shootings like every month in this country. You see that Russian is invading the Ukraine. I mean, every day I hear about rapists causing trouble, hurting women and children in this country. Every day we hear about gun violence in this country. I mean, there's racism in this country. There's terror all throughout the world. This world is a very terrible place. And I told this to my therapist. Sometimes I just wish that I can live in the Sonic universe as a hedgehog. And I know people are going to make fun of me for saying that, but I don't care. I mean, I've been put through so much in my lifetime. I mean, yes, I've shared the story before. My father was abusive. My mother committed adultery. My stepfather wasn't the nicest person to me growing up. I was bullied constantly in high school. I grew up having to say goodbye to my childhood friends when my parents divorced, and had a hard time making new friends at my new schools due to my social condition. I mean, this world, it really does suck. And I really do wish that I could live in the Sonic world as a hedgehog. I mean, I just don't understand how people can come to hate the Sonic cast so much. They're so lovable, they're full of charm. I mean, that was bringing a smile to my face. But because he's not considered popular anymore. Well, I mean, Sonic is still popular, but I mean, he's not as big as Mario. People just treat him as the black sheep. People just treat Sonic fans as if they're losers. Yet these people calling song fans losers have probably never done anything significant in their lives. But anyway, yeah, I made this channel just to show my appreciation and love for video games. I mean, I didn't even really care about making money on YouTube. I just wanted to meet awesome people. But because I made a controversial opinion in regards to the Mario vs. Sonic Death Battle, everybody wants to grab their torches and pitchforks and harass me because I offended their Lord and Savior, Mario. And to all the people who laugh at me for having a quote sucky channel, yeah, I know my channel is dead, but I mean, again, if I can help out at least one person out there, then this video is worth uploading. And for the record, back way back in like 2006, before Google completely took over YouTube, it was much easier to get views on YouTube, unlike it is now. The algorithm is so screwed up now. But I mean, on my original YouTube channel, I got millions of views. Back then, AMVs ruled the website. That was really a great time. That may be one of the reasons why I got into anime, now that I think about it. I really miss those days. But yeah, back in 2006, people uploaded stuff to YouTube out of fun and passion. But now people only upload stuff to YouTube just to make money, and it's so sad. Yeah, people who say that my channel sucks have probably never uploaded anything in their life, like Grant Strader. And yeah, at least I can say that I was one of the OGs who got thousands of views on a daily basis before Google took over YouTube and the YouTube algorithm went to hell. Yeah, maybe I'll even put a link down the description to my old channel, just so you guys can see that, yeah, I don't have any views now, but there was once a time when I was getting millions of views, back before the YouTube algorithm went to hell. So, yeah. For all the people who want to trash on me, who want to trash on Sonic, I just gotta say, if you can't turn water into wine or split the sea in half, why the fuck should I care what you have to say, honestly? What have you done in your life that's so significant? You're not any better than any Sonic fan. You're not above Sonic fans. You're just another nerd hiding behind a computer screen, hiding behind an avatar, just trying to blow off steam due to all the bullshit going on in your life. Because we all have bullshit going on in our lives. But the value of our life is determined by our choices. We are who we choose to be. If you want to choose to harass me just because I like Sonic, then go ahead. That shows what you are as a person. And yeah, you can worship Mario and Nintendo to no end because Nintendo won the console war. Well, I should say, quote, won the console war. They didn't really win the console war. I mean, they just didn't lose as badly as Sega did. If your definition of winning the console war is getting your ass kicked by Sony, then sure, yeah, Nintendo won the console war. And if you want to harass me because I like the, quote, losing team, go ahead. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah, I know this sounds cheesy, but I don't care. Sonic the Hedgehog really did save my life. He's my real-life hero. If it weren't for him, then whenever I went into that dark place, who knows, maybe I may not be here today. I had to grow up seeing my parents go to the court on a daily basis. I've been bullied to no end. I've looked for love, girls have ignored me, and I'm really lonely because of my socialization condition. I mean, it's not like I don't try to put myself out there. I do. I just can't connect with people. That's one of the reasons why I turned to the internet and why I made this YouTube channel, so that I could have an easier time connecting to people who share my interest. But unfortunately, the internet is the internet, and people will be cowards online, and they'll say horrible stuff in order to make themselves feel better and hide the garbage that's going on in their lives. So yeah, anyone wants to laugh at my YouTube channel failing, go ahead. It doesn't matter. I remember a good quote from Michael Jordan. He said that he almost lost 300 games. 26 times he's been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. He's failed over and over again in life, and that is why he succeeded. So yeah, all you Mario fanboys laughing at me for my YouTube channel failing, or laughing at me for failing in my debunking video, or laughing at me for failing in computer science. You can all suck it. At least I tried. And I mean, who knows, maybe I may come back to YouTube and make videos again. Right now I'm just really focusing on trying to get my life together though. I have some projects, some in real life projects that I want to work on, and if things go well, and if I gain a big financial success from them, maybe I'll be able to have the money to return to YouTube and maybe pay for advertisement to advertise my channel so I can grow. Unlike when I did when I was in my 20s, when I was making this YouTube channel, I didn't really know what I was doing, but it was a fun experiment. I mean, I didn't expect to grow, but I certainly didn't expect to get all this hate from Mario fans. And again, in regards to this celebrity who, I'm not going to mention his name, but who committed suicide, something that he said that really stuck out to me was that he was voted the most likely person to fail in high school. He didn't listen to them and became a big success. So why the bloody hell should I listen to these Sonic detractors who don't even have the balls to show their face? Have probably never done anything beneficial to society in their entire life. Yeah, someone please tell me that. Why the bloody hell should I listen to these people? There is no reason. Something that I forgot to mention that really annoys me in regards to Sonic and Nintendo. It seems that people can't criticize Sonic without comparing him to Mario, and it's really annoying. Like, for example, I remember when the Sonic movie came out in 2020. I remember Nostalgia Critic he gave his opinion about it, and mind you, I love the Nostalgia Critic. I think the guy is hilarious. But in his video about the Sonic movie, he really didn't like it, and I mean, that's fine and all. You have every right not to like the movie, but I gotta say, what the hell does Mario have to do with this? I mean, he brought up Mario. I was comparing Sonic to Mario, saying that Nintendo still makes consoles, Nintendo is still a machine. And I mean, as a Sonic fan, you just can't get away from all this blind Nintendo worshipping bullshit. I mean, if you don't like the Sonic movie, that's fine, but why do you have to compare it to Mario? And to add insult to injury, when Sonic 2 came out, he made another video about it, and in the thumbnail, he has a Mario hat on him. Like, he's just begging to get hate from Sonic fans. I just don't get it. It's like people want to upset Sonic fans. They want to shove Mario in our faces. I mean, just let it go, people. Yeah, we know Nintendo, quote, won the console war. Again, if winning the console war means getting your ass kicked by Sony, sure, but we get it. Sega's not a console anymore. We get it. We still have every right to love the Sonic brand, and to love the Sega brand for that matter. You're not going to change us. So once again, if anyone out there is suffering, I want to let you know you are not alone. And suicide is never the answer. It just stops things from getting better. I mean, I suffer from mental illness. Mental illness runs in my family. Every day I wake up thinking about this crap that Cortex has said to me, and all these terrible, horrible comments from Mario fans telling me that I'm worth nothing, that I'm an idiot, that I'm brain dead, that I'm toxic. Just horrible things that flash through my mind about every second of the day that I'm alive. But I choose not to give in to them. Sometimes I wish that, I have thoughts that I just like to end it all. Like I'd like to go to that dark place and just free myself from these bad memories, from these horrible comments. But I know that things will get better. I know that I'll bounce back. I'm depressed. I'm weird. I'm lonely. I do suck at a lot of things. I am suicidal. But guess what? I may have below average skill, but I have phenomenal will, and I will bounce back. When I was in college, mind you, my condition, Asperger's syndrome, not only is it a social condition or social disorder, but it's also considered a learning disability. So I had to enroll in the Student Special Services Department. I think that's what it was called. And yeah, in all my classes, whenever we had exams, I had to go to the Student Special Services to get extended time and to take my exam in a quiet environment where I'd be free from distractions, because again, my condition it's a learning disorder. And yeah, I had to work twice as hard as the average student in order to get my college degree. So yeah, when Cortex and these other people say that I'm brain dead or that I have a mental problem, it really hits hard. But I know that I've defeated the odds. I worked my butt off, and I earned my bachelor's degree in business administration. Sure, it's not the degree that I wanted, but it's still a college degree, and I'm still very proud of it. So, yeah, don't let anyone tell you that you're any less than them. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. I failed at computer science when I first started college in 2010. I failed in computer science, and I switched to business administration. And many years later, after the whole Mario vs. Sonic drama in 2019, I went back to school to try computer science again. And guess what? I failed again. And in the future, I may try again. Well, right now, I'm trying to look for a job. But in the future, if one of my projects goes well and I do get a financial boost, I'll probably try to go back to school again for computer science, and I may fail again. I don't care. I'm gonna keep trying. Um, it was always my dream to become a video game developer and make video games for Sega. More specifically, make Sonic video games for Sega. That was always my life's dream. And I don't care if I keep failing. I'm gonna die trying. Speaking of Sega, another thing that I failed at. I actually got an interview at Sega. I was applied to be a quality assurance tester earlier this year. I'm assuming it was probably to test Sonic Frontiers. I know that would have been awesome, but they when I got to the interview, I didn't pass the interview. Again, I struggle with communication. The interview part is always the hardest part when it comes to job hunting for me. But I'm not going to let this failure get me down. I'm going to keep applying for Sega whenever I see a job that I'm qualified for, that I can apply for. I'm not going to stop. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't care how bad people think the games are. I'm always going to love the character to death. I mean, Sega can release like 20 Sonic 06 quality games. I'm still always going to love the character to death no matter how bad the games get. I know people always want to say that Sonic games suck, that Sonic games are bad, but I mean, that has nothing to do with the character. I'm always going to love this character. I mean, Sonic has such a cool and unique design. I mean, much better than any superhero. I mean, again, most superheroes, 90% of them are just white men in colored undies. I mean, he's better designed than any shonen anime character. I mean, I love shonen anime, but I know Sonic still has such an awesome design. He's much cooler than Mario. Again, Mario's a chubby Italian plumber. That's not very interesting in my opinion. But, I mean, Sonic, there's just never been a character like Sonic. I mean, have you ever heard of a hedgehog character outside of Sonic? Have you ever been heard of a hedgehog? Probably not. I mean, people didn't know what a hedgehog was before Sonic came out. I mean, Sonic is just a fantastic character. I'll always love this character to death, and I don't care what anyone has to say. You have no right to take that away from me. Everybody loves something. I mean, I'm no lower than you just because I like Sonic. I mean, if you think that you're better than me just because you like Mario, you do you. I mean, at the end of the day, none of us can avoid death. None of us can walk on water. At the end of the day, all of us are going to have to face judgment. And we're all going to be seen as equal, whether we're Sonic fans, whether we're Mario fans, whether we're Nintendo fans, whether we're Sega fans. All of us are seen as equal in God's eyes. So, you can say whatever crap you want about me or the Sonic community. It doesn't make it fact. You can't avoid death no more than I can. You can't walk on water. You can't turn water into wine. You're no better than me. So after posting this video, I hope that I can take the freedom back in my mind and be able to love nerd stuff again. I mean, it's a really terrible feeling when you're a prisoner of your own mind. Like I said, due to all this blind hate that I got from Mario fans, I became obsessive over these mean comments, and every moment throughout the day, I'm just obsessing over what this Cortex guy said, and well, all these other toxic Mario fans had to say about me. And I'm sorry if this video came off as really ranty towards Nintendo, but when you're dealing with 4 years worth of mean comments just beating into your head constantly every day, just really at some point you have to let it all out. I know that I've been speaking to a therapist about my problems. I've been doing exercises, both mentally and physically. I've been trying to get out more. I've been trying to keep my mind busy, but at the end of the day, it's just a darkness I can't seem to escape. And I thought maybe coming back to where the problem originated, back here on YouTube, maybe I'll be able to find the answer somehow. But anyway, yeah, I love nerd stuff. It's just, the nerd community just infuriates me sometimes. I mean, people in the nerd community, they truly think that they're above Sonic fans. They truly have this superiority complex that Sonic fans are beneath them. And no. What have you done in your life that makes you above someone who likes Sonic? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, yeah, to all the Sonic fans out there, don't let anybody tell you that you're beneath them. Especially some random loser on the internet who doesn't even have the balls to show their face. And I know that this is a nerd community problem because, for example, when I went back to college for my computer science program, when I would wear a Sonic shirt, a classmate of mine would notice and would tell me, "Oh, you like Sonic? I remember that game. I used to play that on the Sega Genesis. That was a really cool game." But yeah, it's when I'm on the internet, on say YouTube for example, and I have a Sonic avatar, I'll get some random person come up to me and say, "What? You like Sonic? Sonic sucks. He hasn't had a good game since 1994. And if you like Sonic, then that makes you toxic, you toxic Sonic fanboy." So yeah, it's just a bullshit nerd community problem. Again, normies in real life aren't rude to me like this. It's only the cowards on the internet who want to talk trash to me for liking Sonic because they wouldn't dare say this crap to me in my face in real life. So, yeah, once again, I hope that by posting this, I'll be able to rekindle my love for nerd stuff. Because honestly, being a grown-up with responsibilities sucks. I love nerd stuff. It's a great escape from the real world. And no one has the right to take this away from me. So yeah, I guess that's all I want to say. If anyone is feeling suicidal or is having thoughts that they're better off just not existing, please seek help. There's no shame in seeking mental help. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And again, I have these mean comments in the background showcasing that these comments, they no longer have any power over me. They don't mean anything. Again, my counselor, my LCD therapist, told me to reread these comments as an exercise and just embrace them to the point where they no longer have any impact on you. I'm still not completely there yet, but they have lost their power after doing these exercises. And yeah, I know that these comments, they're just made by teenagers and man-children. They have no power over me. I'm sure most of these people have probably never even been to college, let alone graduate and had the opportunity to study abroad. So, yeah. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you having these horrible thoughts. It happens to everybody at some shape or form. But if they start to control you, make sure you seek mental help. There's nothing wrong with seeking guidance from a qualified therapist. And remember, no matter who you are, no matter how worthless you may seem to feel, you do have value. Everybody has value. Everybody on this earth has value. And if you were to disappear, there are people that would be hurt. No matter what you think, even if you feel that you have no friends, you have no loved ones, everybody has made contact with someone in this world. And everyone, there's definitely someone in this world who's going to be impacted if you all of a sudden vanish from the face of the earth. So remember, it's not just about you. Life is supposed to be hard. Life is not easy. Life is not fair. Life does not make sense. But I guess that's kind of what makes life worth living, because at the end of our lives, we'll be able to look back and realize that, wow, I put up the good fight. I've been put through a lot of crap, but I never gave up, and I conquered all the hardships in my life. I didn't quit. I put up the good fight, and I've become a champion, and am ready for what awaits in the next life. So, yeah. I hope I was able to reach out to somebody who's in a time of need. Just remember, you're not alone. So, everybody, I want to thank you for sticking out to watching this video to the end. And I hope that you have a really awesome day. God bless.